Welcome back to Middle Earth, everybody. I'm your friendly neighborhood airborne dwarf, Z-Man here. Hope you guys are having a lovely day so far. So in the previous episode, we went ahead and upgraded our armor a little bit, kind of expanding off of episode 3, where we initially got ourselves some armor. It was doing all right, but I felt we needed a bit of an upgrade. So we did just that. We got ourselves some pretty awesome Erebor Gatewarden helmet. Now, I do want to point out a couple things here that you might be seeing. Obviously, the diamonds in my inventory, those are not from Middle Earth. You can only get those in the overworld. I'm going to just explain a couple things really quick. So what I was originally thinking for this episode was doing some enchanting. Now, I did say in the previous episode, you know, what are your guys' thoughts on potentially doing a little bit of enchanting, even though there's no special enchanting system or anything like that just yet. But after going through a lot of tools and my Gatewarden armor getting it pretty beaten and battered, I thought to myself, maybe we can just at least try to do some enchanting, because yeah, I'm not liking the state of our armor currently. It's just not good. So I'm gonna put the footage in right now as I'm doing this voiceover. I went into the overworld, found a cave, and I dug up these diamonds legitimately, I promise. So we got ourselves some diamonds. We also got a little bit more sugarcane as well. Yeah, I feel dumb. My OBS has been acting up a little bit recently, where it's not saving my mic settings, so people aren't hearing me and all that kind of stuff. So I'm definitely gonna have to look into that. But after about 15-20 minutes of recording, I was like, oh yeah, OBS isn't picking up my mic. So now I feel really dumb. So in today's video, we are going to try to do some enchanting. We'll see how far we can actually get with it, primarily because we do not have all that much sugarcane. We have what's in our inventory here, and that's about it. Now, you guys may have also noticed we do have a waypoint for the Gray Mountains. I needed some blocks for today's build. That's right, we're actually finally going to be doing some building around here. So I traveled out to the Gray Mountains here and left a waypoint so I know exactly where to go. So while I was over there, I spent quite a bit of time doing some block gathering and everything of the sorts. So we end up getting a little bit more coal, a little bit more resources, and all that fun stuff. Now, we do already have obsidian. Obsidian is still something that we are able to get in Middle Earth. We don't have to go to the overworld for that or anything. This rotten flesh is also not from Middle Earth. We're bringing things from other dimensions. The only exception would be the diamonds for enchanting, so we're just gonna get rid of that really quick. Yeah, I ended up planting a little bit of sugarcane here. We might go do a little bit more exploring to see if we can get enough sugarcane to make enough bookshelves. So we do need that, but no shortage of leather here. We don't have to worry about that. It's more so just the sugarcane to make the paper. Now, 14 books, that's obviously not going to be enough by any means to make a bookshelf, but it's definitely a start. Now, as you guys can see here, we do have some other blocks here. This is what we're primarily going to be building out of today. The gabbro, the dolomite, and also a little bit of schist. We might incorporate some of the smooth basalt as well. Maybe. We'll see how far we can get with that. And one more thing, I know the beginning of this video is a little bit more scattered, but I do have a confession to make to you guys. So in episode 3, I did ask you guys to leave suggestions for names for our horse friend. And well, I kind of lost him. I kid you not, I spent over an hour's worth of time looking around the surrounding region here that we've explored. No sign of him. No sign of him anywhere. But I went ahead and did this off camera. Oh, we managed to capture a dwarf. Interesting. But we have ourselves a broadhoof goat. Now, this goat you can only tame if you are part of the dwarf race. It's a race-specific mount that is available, like wargs are for orcs and goblins and all that kind of stuff. The goat is the specific race unique mount. So I wanted to kind of show you guys this guy a bit because he is really freaking cool. Now, obviously, I did do a little bit of, looking around figuring out how we're actually able to tame these things. And if you're a dwarf, all you need to do is feed it some wheat. Very simple. Once you are able to tame him, you can put a saddle on him, and there is a slot for putting armor on. At some point, we'll probably put some armor on him because there are some different things that we can put on him. We have the padded armor, the ornamented padded armor, and then plate armor. Now, I expect this to be pretty expensive. Yeah, I was kind of right. It's a little expensive. 3 armor plates, 2 mail parts, all being in Kazad steel, and 2 pieces of fabric. Maybe that's something we can do in this video at some point, but I'm gonna try to kind of stay on topic here as much as I possibly can. So if you guys have any new goat names for our new goat friend here, please leave them in the comments below. Before I continue, there is one unique thing about these goats that I really like. So when you're sprinting with them, which this guy can actually kind of move a bit, but when you're sprinting with them, if you hold down space like you would to jump with a horse, he actually charges and will actually inflict damage onto any entities, enemies, anything, which I think is really freaking cool. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and put him back in his temporary home. I'm sorry, buddy. We will get you out of there very soon. I probably could have built him a pen, but that's kind of where the next part, or later in this video, we'll be getting into that. Because like I said, we're gonna be doing some building. So yeah, for the first part of today's video, we're gonna try to get ourselves an enchantment set up, and then later on, we'll be doing some building. I'm not gonna allude to what we are doing just yet, but I think you guys are really going to like it. And also one of the main reasons why I wanted to do some enchanting today is because I wanted to get like a silk touch pickaxe, potentially if possible, because I desperately want to play around with some of the unique building blocks for like the dolomite and stuff. I don't want to waste my coal, even though I could just go mining for it. I'd rather not waste it on smelting up stones to get the proper blocks and all that kind of stuff. I feel like that's just a waste of resources. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time running around gathering up some sugarcane, as we do have a couple books here that I ended up making earlier. Hopefully we can get ourselves a decent enchantment set up today. Actually, you know what might be a good idea is to use my goat friend for traveling instead of walking around. Yeah, I think that's a very good idea. Oh, and another thing that I almost forgot. I did read some comments saying, hey, you should probably try to turn down the difficulty for the world because we were playing on hard mode and everything like that. And I thought to myself, now I'd like the challenge, but then being 100% honest, after going to the Gray Mountains about 5 different times because I didn't sleep at nighttime and then goblins started spawning, I died so many times over there that it got super boring traveling back and forth. And so I ultimately made the decision to turn the difficulty down to normal. So now we should be dealing with normal damage and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully it is not super crazy. But yeah, I meant to grab my goat friend because we want to go get some sugarcane. Looks like one of them just grew over here too. But it is also getting dark, so I'm gonna sleep before we go out. There's actually one more thing that I want to do. I want to see if it is possible to get to the nether from here. I have not tried that, and now that I do have the obsidian for it, I think this might be something kind of interesting to figure out. Now, am I going to put this anywhere specific? No, but I definitely want to, if it's even possible. I feel like it'll still be possible, but this is one of the questions that I've had, you know, ever since the beginning. All right, moment of truth. No, really? Very interesting. So we cannot get to the nether from this dimension. Good to know though. I feel like that's a valid thing to block people from being able to go do, because you're in Middle Earth. Like 99% of the things that you can get from, I wouldn't say 99, I would say a good majority of blocks that you're able to get in the overworld, you are able to get in this dimension as well, along with, you know, all the other custom blocks and such. Enough goofing off. We're gonna go out and get ourselves some sugarcane. I'm hoping we can just can travel along the river here and find some sugarcane that way. I would rather prefer to not have to do too much traveling, just because I don't want to spend too much of my time wasted on just getting sugarcane and that kind of stuff. I like to actually get building something today. We haven't really built anything ever since our house, so I think I definitely want to save some time for that today. Okay, so we are getting home now after our short little escapade for sugarcane, and it does look like a little bit of ours has grown as well. So that's going to be super helpful for us. Let's go ahead and park this guy right in here and go ahead and harvest up the sugarcane. Now, I did find another one of the dwarven structures, and I took a couple blocks out of it because I thought that it would look really nice for what we're going to be building today. So we're going to go ahead and throw those right in there. And yeah, now that we have a bit more sugarcane, I'm just going to go ahead and make ourselves some more books. Now we're up to 30 books. Let's go ahead and make some planks and then go ahead and make ourselves a few bookshelves. So for a full enchantment setup, we will need 16 bookshelves. Now, a lot of people will debate, oh, you don't need 16. Oh, yes, you do. No, you don't. I prefer to just go with a full enchantment setup if at all possible. But I'm also now realizing I don't know where I want to put this. I might end up actually just digging down here and putting it in the basement here. You know, we don't need to do anything super fancy for it right now, because more than likely it will end up being moved very shortly once we get the other structure built. Now we will have a proper enchanting area. Well, I should say this is more of a temporary enchanting area. We're just going to go ahead and throw the bookcases down. And now we should probably make ourselves the enchantment table. That's kind of important, right? Yes, it is. Let's go ahead and throw that out. There's also one more bookshelf. Almost forgot about that, but here we go. What can we get from this? Efficiency 3, efficiency 2, and efficiency 1. Pretty standard, I would say. Still nothing super spectacular. Obviously, we do need some more levels if we want to get the tier 3 enchantments, but maybe we'll do some mining. Maybe we'll go hunt down some goblins or something. I don't know just yet. But we will definitely sooner rather than later if we want to actually do some enchanting. And it is also dark out, so let's go ahead and sleep. And then over time, we will make some more bookshelves and all that fun stuff. I was kind of hoping we might be able to get ourselves a, whatchamacallit, a grindstone, so we can actually, you know, remove the enchantments that we get. I think it's still possible. A grindstone will be kind of important. I just want to see if we're able to get Silk Touch at this level, or if it's something that's not going to be feasible. So while that stuff is doing that, I'm just going to see. Let's go ahead and enchant this pickaxe here. Efficiency 1. So obviously the enchantments apply just the same as any other. So let's see if what else we can get. Unbreaking 1, Unbreaking 1, and efficiency 3. We got efficiency 2 out of that one. That's pretty nice. I should probably also show off that I did end up making the Erebor Noble Sword off camera because I really wanted another sword. Sharpness 3, Smite 1, Sharpness 1. You know what? We'll just do it. Sharpness 1, pretty standard. Sounds about right. Ooh, we can't get Silk Touch, actually. I'm going to save that. We're not going to do any more enchanting. I would very much like to get Silk Touch so we can actually get some regular schist. Like, the polished schist blocks look really nice. I was hoping that I could possibly incorporate those in today's builds, but I don't think we're going to have time for that. Maybe we will. I don't know. I'm just going to say I doubt it for now, because I mostly just want to get right into building here now that we have done a bit of enchanting. Wow, I really do need to touch up on my recipes, because the grindstone does not call for a smooth stone slab. It's just a regular stone slab. And we do have the stone cutter here. I did end up making one of these because I wanted to use some of the specialized blocks in today's video. So yeah, we're just gonna do that really quick. A stone trap door? I'm sorry, what? All right, now we have a grindstone. So now we just plot that down right there. And whenever we need to do that, we can... Actually, to get some more levels, I might end up smelting up some more of raw copper. Yeah, smelting this stuff up will probably be a good way of getting a decent amount of XP. So we're going to do that really quick. Just going to go ahead and throw these in, let that all smelt up. And now we're going to move on to actually doing the primary thing of today's video. All right, finally, we're getting to the big thing here for today's video. Instead of doing the traditional Ravenhill watchtower like is described in Tolkien lore, you know, a tower sitting upon this ridge here, we're actually going to do a small dwarven outpost on the inside of this section here, which I think will be a nice little deviation from Tolkien lore, because I want to give my own little twist on this world, if at all possible, at the right times. So I did gather a majority of the resources that we're going to need today. I am hoping I can do what I want to do with all this stuff. We actually might end up needing some silk touch tricks, or even just smelting up some of this regular dolomite, or the cobbled dolomite, to get regular dolomite. Darn. All right, well, I guess we're not going to get into it right away because I need to do a little bit more preparations. Yeah, I'll see you guys when we're actually ready to get into building. All this free XP, it's lovely. We love this. Oh yeah, these guys are actually doing a lot less damage than I had anticipated when I had adjusted the difficulty. This is going to be a bit more enjoyable, I personally think, as compared to playing on hard difficulty. Because there were so many times that I had died off camera that I just thought to myself, this is ridiculous. All right, I got some more levels now. Let's go ahead and get this thing enchanted. Damn it, I need my lapis. Lapis is kind of important if we want to do any enchanting. Not Unbreaking 3, I want to do this one. We get Silk Touch, Efficiency 2, and Unbreaking 2. Which, I mean, we could definitely combine these two pickaxes. I should have enough iron to make a regular anvil. All right, we got ourselves a regular anvil. Just gonna plop that down right there. So we want to enchant with the least amount of levels being occupied. Not that one. We're definitely going to do this one here. Efficiency 2, or I'm sorry, Silk Touch, Efficiency 3, and Unbreaking 2. I think that's going to be a pretty solid pickaxe, especially for doing all the digging that we're going to be doing in today's video. So, now that we have that, I'm going to go get some blocks really quick. And then, without further ado, we're just going to hop right into the time lapse of what we're going to be building. just walking up to this build here, I am already 100% sold on it. I think this is definitely one of my more favorite builds that I have done in a very long time. I really like how I was able to blend these 3 different colored blocks together. I personally think this looks so freaking cool. Now, when it comes to this door, I'm still trying to figure out how I want to kind of go about doing it, but for the time being, we're just gonna hollow this middle section out here. Just go for a 3 wide entrance here, and then I did not do anything with the inside here because I am already running out of time for getting this video edited and out in a proper manner. So let me know in the comments below what your guys' thoughts are on this build. Personally, I am so freaking happy with it, and I cannot wait to continue to expand on it as well. This is definitely hands down one of the better builds I've done in a very long time. I might even have to try and incorporate some of these ideas into the Solus world. Maybe. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because, you know, we don't have vertical slabs in there because it's regular Minecraft, but it's also getting dark, and I'm not going to do it much more rambling. I just want to say, even at nighttime, since I'm obviously recording this a couple days in advance, I can't wait for you guys to actually see this because I am very proud of this build. And as I mentioned already, we're running out of time for this video. It might actually even be under 25 minutes now that I think about it. This build in and of itself already took multiple days to do, so I don't want to waste any more time. I really want to make sure that I get this out on time. I've been doing such a good job on that, getting my videos out every Friday, so I want to keep up with that trend. So this is where we're going to go ahead and end things off for today's video. I apologize if it wasn't super action-packed or anything like that, but it was still a very, very successful video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're liking this massive build here, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to also check out all the links below for all of my social medias. Consider joining my community Discord as well. I'd love to chat with you guys in there. And if you want to see more Middle Earth content just like this, consider subscribing as well. It would be greatly appreciated. And before we go, I also want to say a huge shout out and thank you to all of my channel members. You guys are absolutely amazing. And if you also want to be absolutely amazing, get some awesome perks to the channel, consider becoming a channel member today. Never required, but always greatly appreciated. And yeah, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.